This is a Merrick Studios podcast. On this week's show,
artists must always seek to reinvent himself because you're as good as your last record. So it's always about reinventing yourself and do not get stuck and become cyclical doing the same thing because it creates monotony to the ears of the listener. Sometimes you, the person, someone who's stepping filth, don't smell it, it's the other person smell it.
In 3, 2, 1.
I'm DJ Enuff.
I'm DJ Camilo.
I'm DJ Kast One.
And I'm Len Boogs, a.k.a. L Boogs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone worldwide, this is the Heavy Hitter DJs podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode. We're back at it again. The Heavy Hitter DJs podcast. You got myself, DJ Kast One, alongside my illustrious hosts. They go by the name of...
The Heavy Hitter DJ Enuff.
Live from Queens, New York, DJ Camilo.
And yours truly, Shortman Movements, Brooklyn Zone. You already know what it is.
Yes.
And today with us, we are blessed to have an illustrious guest in the building, the one and only man needs no introduction, Buju Banton. Let's go. Buju in the building, baby. Buju, what's up, my guy?
Big respect to every hitters, the legends who have crafted and sustained hip-hop and the hip-hop community for decades. Inside of New York City, decades a bit a stretch, but even beyond that.
Love you, brother.
That's fire.
Pick up the sound, Gargamel. Go on.
I'm here, man. Thank you very much for inviting me in the program. What's up, every hitters?
Yes.
You know, we are here. We're glad to have you along with us. Where you checking in from? That's a nice office you in, bro. Where
are you,
man? I'm in my office, actually, yeah.
Nice.
So, Buju, let's get right into it, man. Tell us what's going on. What's new in the Buju Banton universe?
We have a brand new album called Too Bad that comes your way on July the 17th. We promises to give you dancehall in its raw, explicit form, but yet entertaining and invigorating manner. Yes. Also, there's a song on this album called Heavy Hitters. Heavy Hitters. The S-Ball cap and kicker still to
No.
Don't say that.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Deal with flatters. Yeah, man. Yes, student. I have a question. What you represent? Banging, slamming, lit. Every with it. Yeah, it's called.
Yo, that's crazy.
I love it. We need that exclusive before that drops, baby.
Oh, nah, we need that. When is the album coming out? When is the
July
album?
7th, bro. You're not paying attention?
It wasn't made with you guys in mind, but it fits.
Definitely.
It does. Gonna love it. So the 17th of July comes your way. Yeah. So our first single is out, which is called Butterflies. And we're called,
that Butterfly record is serious.
Oh, it's
the Butterflies.
Serious.
We go for the real drum and the real bass.
Yeah.
Taking it back to foundation.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what's special about Buju, man?
What's that?
His voice.
Yeah.
Like some people, Guru said this from Gangstar back in the days, right? He had a record called something about the voice. I forgot. I'm probably messing up the quote, but some people could rap, but some people just don't have the voice. But you have the voice.
That's 100%
The
fact.
voice is magical.
But most importantly, I believe I've got a heart.
Yes, of course.
And the voice chakra work with the heart chakra. You know what I mean? Now, when there's a synchronicity, it's all the goodness. Mm-hmm.
Yo, last time I saw Buju, he came to Avalon nightclub for my birthday party.
Those years ago, brother. 1,000 moons ago.
Yeah, before you went in for a little bit. And I was like, wow.
Yes.
And he did it out of love, and I always loved him for that.
Yeah, well, you see,
Julio.
we're from the old school where, the law of reciprocity lives. It's never normally always a check. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's from here to see a brother win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Talking about old school, I got to take it back to the days, like 95 for me. I was super young. Yeah. And back in the days, we used to cut out of school and do parties, right?
Yeah.
So we used to call, it was like a basement party, right?
Yeah.
And then when you everybody grinding. That was the vibe, the move. And when like the record champion would drop, we are a walk like a champion. Yo, like that to me is memories from back in the days, and that like Enuff said, that voice
because
stands out, man. That record, that song for me was everything that summer, bro.
for me, just like the painter would take his brush and paint something, and the canvas would just become alive. Our job is to paint a musical picture where the music mark timelines and remind us about special events in our life while we're growing and while we're, emerging, and that's what good music does. And I'm sure there are quite a few songs in the hip hop community that does the same. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Guys, I cannot forget the show with Slick Rick and Dr. Fresh. And it was actually my breaking out into getting accustomed to the hip hop training. That was the show.
Wow.
Slick Rick and Gold vibe. Da 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 da.
Right.
So whenever time I hear that,
1985.
yes, you
Wow.
remember. 1985.
When I was coming up, like there was also like a time where it was like a lot of reggae hip hop songs being put together. There was a time I remember PF Cutting from East New York. He would always play these records, and it was just reggae tunes behind the hip hop beats, and that became something like even the Super Cat jumped on oh man, refresh my memory enough.
Heavy D, Super Cat and Heavy D.
Yes. You know, there was that era of reggae hip hop reggae.
In the
Like
90s.
Dolly My Baby.
In the 90s, we had a great relationship with the hip hop R&B community. Where someone wanted something different on their record. They'll find a Beanie Man, they'll find an Elephant Man, they'll find a Buju Banton, they'll find a Mad Cabra or Shabba Ranks. Because we bring something different to the record, and a good A&R always want to have something different with a different flow to captivate a new demographics. You know, so in those days, the music was people loved music.
Yep.
You know,
I mean, growing up in New York City, like hip hop and reggae was like hand in hand. 6'7", anyway, but you know, hand in hand. It had to, like, you did a hip hop set, you had to do a dancehall set. You had to, like, it was just hand in hand. And for me, it was the time where I was playing hip hop back then. It was very aggressive, right? But when you wanted to get the girls happy, dancehall, reggae, and it was just always hand in hand in New York back in the 90s. For me, like, it was a must.
And there were so many venues that contribute to the growth of the music as well. There was quite a number of venues that facilitate dancehall music, and the clubs also, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you guys play a pivotal role in that as well. No disrespect. You guys play a great major role in the promulgation of this music over the years. I want to say thank you for the Jamaican reggae community, dancehall community. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
So I have a question for you, Buju, because like, even though, you know, to Camilo's point, because he's talking about older school vibes, you've been a part of, like, let's say somebody like my life, like you've been a part of my musical journey from beginning till now, right? No, serious, so serious. Like, you know, like my first reggae album that I bought was Till Shiloh, and I was a young kid.
Thank you very much.
It was my first one that I bought. I had the CD.
for you.
But let me tell you, I bought this. I actually had the CD, bro, and it was like, you know, so you've been, and not just my life, but a whole bunch of people that are my age group, like, you've been literally a constant throughout our whole life. From then to now, still relevant, still consistent, still putting out music, and still making songs that people enjoy. Can you speak to like that longevity? How? Because there's not too many artists that we can say that about, you know, and especially international artists. There's not many international artists you can say that about, you know. So, how do you think you've been able to maintain this type of production, love, and respect from all communities that enjoy listening to your music, brother?
I had a great manager. His name is Mr. Donovan Jermaine, who always tell me, an artist must always seek to reinvent himself because you're as good as your last record.
Yeah.
And I'll just say that. So you have to reinvent yourself, because every year a demographic reaches 10 years old, a demographic reaches 12, a demographic same year, but people group goes up. So you have to keep captivating and garnering new adherence to your music and your culture. Yes, so you have to keep reinventing yourself. Not you're gonna throw away your pearls and your values, but you will have to toe the line to make sure that you're connected with a future generation who's gonna take the music further. So it's always about reinventing yourself and do not get stuck and become cyclical doing the same thing, because it creates monotony to the ears of the listener. Sometimes you, the person, someone who's stepping filth don't smell it, it's the other person smell it. So you the person who's singing the song, you don't know. It's a listeners be like, oh, give me something different. You know what I mean? So you have to keep something. You have to fall back, observe, go back to your drawing board. Sometimes tear up your drawing board and create a new one.
Right.
All your effort to connect and to reinvent yourself and to stay relevant. The masses, you're not chasing it, it comes naturally only if you apply yourself.
I think that also goes for DJs because times change especially now. Everything changes so fast, and the sound and this and if you're stubborn, you'll be like, no, these new guys, this sounds like trash. And if you don't sit there and understand and study, you're gonna lose it. You're not gonna evolve.
We were once where they are, and we face the same criticism they are facing.
Yeah,
but we pulled through. And the reason why we're here is because we did not stuck ourselves in what we knew. You understand? Our glass wasn't filled to the brim. It was half empty. That means there's a capacity for us to have something else pour inside our glass.
Right.
And that's why we're here, to transcend time and to be an inspiration to those who seek to be a part of the crowd, because we're all vital. I make the music, you play it.
Right.
Yeah. So the synchronicity of us both and the realistic appeal where we both encounter in being relevant is indeed relevant.
Yeah, man.
That's a fact.
Yo, Buju, let's talk about Butterfly, man.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. All right. I watched Joe and Jada. We big fans of Joe and Jada.
Yeah.
That same day it premiered. Mind you, I'm watching it, and then you on there, and then you say, yo, brand new Buju, boom, boom, boom. Mind you, I did not know what to expect, to be honest.
Yeah.
Once I'm playing it, and I'm playing it loud in the crib too. And come on. From the drop, I said, oh shit. And mind you, just the reaction off the guys on the chair. Mind you, Fat Joe and Jada now. Just react, and then what? And then the drop happened. Boom. Bro. I was like, nah, Buju's on a whole nother wave now. Like, you brought back that wave again, bro.
That sound, man. Facts.
Yes. Like,
and I think it was so needed. It was so needed. Like it's not there.
Culture. Bro.
That's where the ability
me saying it now.
That's where the ability to step back and observe and look within, because you cannot see your shot and start moving water. So you have to step back, observe the marketplace, observe what is being produced.
Right.
Look at the reaction, because I was also taught not to really listen to the noise of the market, but focus on the receipts, because the hall can be full where you never make a dollar.
Right. That's smart.
The ability to step back and analyze the market and see what's missing.
Right.
Is also, you have to have a knock for it.
Oh, yeah. Bro. I was like, nah. And then now I got to play it on the sound system, hear it in a club or whatever. Bro, the knock is serious.
That you hear that authentic Jamaican sound.
Yeah, bro.
That
I was like, nah.
And that high, that mid-range and that body.
Yes.
Make the thing run up your body and you feel like, oh, yes.
Nah, I'm telling you, bro.
That's what music's supposed to do for us. It's supposed to bring us in a space that, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's a different space. And that was, it was intended for, to, you know what I mean? Stimulate us.
Stimulate, right.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
DJ Enuff, what's up?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm glad you're here.
Loving
Yo,
it.
can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
What does the word ragamuffin mean?
Ragamuffin, rude boy.
All right, hold on. You know why I'm asking this question? You guys are all gonna laugh. The first time I heard that record was, that name or whatever was probably in the early 80s, right? But then I was home with the family and we were watching an old movie that came out in 1964 called Mary Poppins. And in the movie Mary Poppins, there was a bum or something on the street, and she called him a ragamuffin. So I was like, I'm confused now. Is this an English word? Or is
Yes,
this
it's an English word.
Jamaican word?
It's an English word because remember that Jamaica was under the system.
Yeah, that part I understand.
But what we have done over the years, we have coined most of these English words into our parochial phrases. A different meaning to them and different context to them. Because a ragamuffin
that's what I wanted to get cleared up.
A person on the street back then, but a ragamuffin is a man who is a rude boy, a ragamuffin.
Right.
All right, cool.
Like a reggae dancehall man they used to call us ragamuffins.
Yes, I need clarity. That's it. Very important. See?
But
Dropping gems.
I like that question because I didn't even know.
yes.
No, man, it's important. You gotta understand these things.
That's fire. I mean, actually, you know what? I was just thinking about something, and we've crossed paths in different times. Obviously, you don't know me. You never really, but we've crossed paths in certain times. Like I've seen you in certain places. So the last time I saw you was at the Vybz Kartel show in Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
We were on the riser. Buju comes in. Everybody's showing Buju love, but Buju, he literally came in there. You got your area, and he was watching the show and feeling the vibes, watching Vybz Kartel do his thing, and it got me to thinking, like, you've been in the music business and making songs for so long. Like when you see newer young artists, which are the ones that stand out to you and actually make you feel like, yo, this young artist has something, or
those are topics that I try to stay away from because I tend to be a bit controversial, even if it's from opinion and from an honest point of view. But he's showing Vybz Kartel love is real and it's natural because guess what? He suffered and I have suffered. I will know the pain that suffering caused. You know what I mean? So it's only right that I support him and see him getting flowers and giving him space and giving him flowers and making him do his thing. Because at the end of the day, we have a unity and we have to make sure that the younger generation see that this unity, it didn't just appear. It come from a true innate place where all of us are children of the corn, where our mothers and fathers came from the depth of poverty. And through the halls of music, we were able to change our lives. Yeah? And the fans make it possible. So we have to show unity.
Speaking of unity, I mean, I don't want to be all over the place, but we had Vybz Kartel on the show, and we asked him for his top 5. I think it was top 5, top 3 dancehall artists. And you was number 1 or 2 or 3, I forgot, but you was on that list. But I have to
simplify it for you in layman terms. Vybz Kartel is definitely in my top 3. What about that?
Nice.
All right. Good.
Yeah. We definitely had you number 1.
And
we also asked Vybz what's his top 3 favorite Jamaican dishes to eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm on different when it comes to what I delight in, I know. You know what I mean? Certain things I don't really like to export. People can know what you sing, people can know how you create, but the things that you love to eat, I man keep certain things on a level. I don't intend to shred the mystery and the enigma for Buju Banton is.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But rest in peace, I do consume, things to keep myself healthy, and I do ingest things to make sure that I can do the work that the Lord needs me to perform.
That's good.
Right.
Good vibe. I think we need all that anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yes, my brother. So, you know what I'm saying? This album here now possesses 16 tracks. But I'm giving you 3 separate rollouts. I'm giving you different tracks on the CD, different tracks on the vinyl. Yes, and on the streaming platform, you're getting different tracks as well. So, I mean, we want to make sure that music is fully represented and dancehall lovers can reminisce on a time and still feel present in the moment because the music is of such. Okay, work with me.
Right.
Yo, coming in from the chat, they want to know what was one of your wildest shows you ever performed at?
Yeah.
One of my wildest shows I ever had to perform at was, I think, Barbados.
Uh-oh.
Concert in Barbados. They
Okay.
oversold the event. And the event was so oversold that the very audience one supposed to be performing for was literally on the stage. It get to a point that the fire marshal had to put me through a window.
Wow.
No,
And
That's
let me down.
crazy.
no way.
What year was that?
What was it when I was 19, 20? When I was 19 years old, I was just coming into the performance scene, and when I was just young and just ready to throw it all out there because this is what we love to do. And our people in the Caribbean, they saw me first before anyone in the world saw who Buju Banton was. Barbados, Antigua, we call Antigua Wadadli, Trinidad especially,
Wow.
These
Wow.
places, the Cayman Islands, these places saw Buju Banton, and they felt the voice. The voice resonated across the ocean. So when I went to visit him to do my first performance as a young man, I was very green, but then it was also a learning experience for me. So these things was like, Then again, my next experience was I was in San Francisco, and one of my concerts was actually Firebomb. And everyone ran away from the concert, and I was the only one standing on the stage with about two of my band members who wanted to leave but could not because the situation did not offer them that egress.
Right.
So those are two of the moments. Beyond that, there are moments where I'm so caught up into what I'm doing for the people on another level that I'm just connecting, and that's to me is most important.
That's great.
Because while the moments are going on, I have a moment that's taking place too.
And we'll be right back.
I'm Bun B. I'm a host and a co-owner at Merrick Studios, and we just took things to the next level. Merrick Studios Plus is live, so tap in at wearemerrickstudios.com, get 65% off, and don't just listen, be a part of the show.
Master the art of lyricism with Pendulum Mink, the first school for rap. Learn elite techniques through immersive lessons, real-world exercises, and guidance from hip-hop icons. This is where MCs sharpen their skills and glow boldly on the mic. Ready to level up? Visit pendulummink.com and start your journey today.
And now, back to the show.
How's it feel joining back forces with VP Records after all these years?
Yeah, I was surprised.
VP Records to me, they know how to market reggae music, dancehall music.
Yeah.
I've tried working with several other conglomerates, but somewhere along the line, the vision get lost. But we're working with someone who has been selling records in the heart of Kingston before the music is what it is today, and the financial rewards that are now attached to it is now attached to it. So they understand, yes, sir. Randy,
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, so
There you
they
go.
understand the foundation and how the demographics respond to this particular music, where it should be marketed and how it should be proffered, so to speak. So work with them. With me, I keep it professional, so maybe I don't have the same angst that other people might have because I do my business and due diligence when I do business with people. So therefore, I have nothing to say more than good things.
That's good, man.
Love that.
That's
Love
good.
that.
And any tours? Anything? Any?
Buju Banton and Steve
What's
Marley
coming up?
goes out on the road. Ironically, we hit the road on the 17th of June. The 17th of June is when the world tour goes out. Buju Banton and Steve Marley. Go check it out live because we have a special VIP package where ones can come, meet Buju Banton, meet Steve Marley, have your photos taken.
Let's go.
Yeah, get your T-shirt specially signed and get treated specially.
Nah, bring your early
Especially
Uzi
ladies,
record. They can
the
sign it for you.
butterflies, come on over because we tend to spoil you all.
Buju, I got a question. Coming up in the game, you young, 19, 20, 21, dropping all these banging classic records. Outside, like you being back home and looking at hip hop, like, is there anything that stands out, artists that you're like, wow, I love this rap, I love this artist, I love this group, I want to do a song with them, or any on the hip hop side of things?
Give me some context. I was first signed to Mercury Polygram record when I was like 19 years old. And at one point, was the opening act for Brian McKnight. Actually, we only did a couple of shows, and the crowd reaction towards me was exceptional because they gave me a piece of the stage. And as an opening act, you had no talks. It just be at the tip of the stage. But when I finished with the audience, it's like the audience was finished with him. So, then I did a stint for Tony.
Wow.
You know, we was also, you know, in those days, you have what is called Jack the Rapper in
Right.
Atlanta.
Mm.
Great music festivals that we used to
Oh
attend.
yeah.
And the music minds would meet, and you know what I mean? So, yes, but working internationally and seeing how these brethren operate, I always aspire to work with people of that caliber who are very,
Right.
very musical and want to make music with different color, different flair, different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are quite a few, and that's also a controversial topic, but I would say when opportunities arise, we will seize them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we work with a lot of people, and we see that working with people is also great because now we're in a world where collaborations are more rated and more noted, and even singles. I don't know when do we get there, but we have to be going with the tide. So a lot of collaborations are being done, and I'm hopeful and open to work with anyone who have good taste in music and is willing to apply themselves like I
That's
do.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Ooh.
I like that.
And
Okay.
speaking about rappers, you know, you've done a lot of notable things with a lot of notable big rappers.
Yes.
How did the link up with Kanye come about? Because when that song came out, there was a lot of people saying, "Is that Buju? That's Buju." Because at first, when it first dropped, they didn't say that it was you, but everybody's like, "Yo, is that Buju on that record?"
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm just interested in how that came about. The Believe What I Say.
That came about beautifully well. It was right in the midst of COVID time, and everyone was in the height of fear. You know, there are some of us who remain consistent and forceful and adamant that fear shall not be the guiding factor for our life. Kanye was one of those persons who bravely came to Jamaica in that time when we were sitting in my studio and, you know, making some music, because actually I have 2 boys' homes with 120 boys, and he's one of the only rappers, one of my only friends in the industry where I helped me to assist those boys. Like, he gave them computers. He helped me to build another musical department for them to
Wow.
learn their musical craft, and he helped me to get more musical instruments for my boys, 120 boys. We're trying to change their lives. Yeah. And in the height of that, we were making music. So when that song came on, that song resonated with me because, you know what I mean? I spent a lot of time with the Fugees back in the days. You know, when Miss Hill was doing her first concert at the Cameo Theater in Miami, I was their special guest.
Wow. Cameo,
Performed
man.
Cameo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember
so,
Cameo?
so
Yeah.
that song meant something, and, you know, he said if I liked it, and I said yes, and, you know, good guy, so we just make the music work. And I'm telling you one thing, that's a guy that's a creative genius right there. So I leave it
Fire.
at that.
Nice, man.
I got a
Nice.
question.
Absolutely.
What made you make a song about Mr. Bogle back in the days?
Mr. Bogle, otherwise known as Mr. Wackenstein. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
In the ragamuffins are trendsetters. We're the ones who brought the fashion. We're the ones who brought the trends. We're the ones who brought the styles. We're the ones who brought the dance. We're the ones who brought the fresh ride, the motorbikes. Ragamuffin do that. You understand? So when a ragamuffin like Bogle step into the ring and start to move, you know, he didn't only come with dancing, he came with a lot of talk. He
Right.
would get on the mic and say things that up to this days guys go on the mic and mimic. So he was a legend in his own right, and he came up at a time when the dance that he was doing, his name is actually Bogle. His name is
Right.
Bogle, otherwise known as Mr. Wackenstein. So the dance that he was doing, the whole country was loving it. So I had to
The
pay
whole
some.
world. I
Yes.
think it's by far the most famous
But in
dance
those days,
dance of all
in those
time.
days, I have
Oh,
never
yeah.
left Jamaica, so I didn't know what the world was doing. I can only talk about my environment. And it was imperative for me to give him his flowers. And I'm so happy and elated that I did, because he's no longer with us, but the memory and the music lives on. So much so that when I was going for my first reggae song fest in 1995, somewhere thereabout, he was backstage and was talking to Papa San. And then he came over to me and said, "You go up on the stage." Me, I said, "Yeah, man." Next thing we know, when Sagittarius band with Derek Barney started to play the rhythm, I see him on the side of the stage and I said, "Mr. Wacky."
Yeah.
And he came and he's up the world stage at Reggae Sunsplash and give the world the Bogle dance right on the stage, right beside me. Next thing happened now, I went to London and I was playing I was still 19 years old. I was playing my first concert in a prestigious venue called Hammersmith La Palais in Shepherd's Bush. And when I look in the audience, I saw Bogle.
Right.
Wow.
Art was in the audience, and it came forward on the stage and give the people of London the Bogle dance live. And
Love it.
you know, those things are historic because this is a synergy that I was speaking about earlier, how we help each other. And you know what I mean? Because we know where we're coming from and how our people suffered. Many of us did not get the opportunity to be great in the classroom, but through the doorway of music, we have been able to feed ourselves and live a crime-free life.
Yes.
Right.
Yo, you know how crazy that dance was?
Crazy.
And
Listen to me. Listen to me, short man. I've seen a 6'5", 300-pound man do the Bogle. Like, what? You know how massive that guy was?
Dance is still being done today.
Yes. Yes.
That's classic, man.
Crazy.
Classic, bro. Yeah.
That must have touched your heart being on stage in London and you know, looking at the crowd and somebody bogling, you're like, damn, this is like worldwide. Like, you gotta hit the heart, man.
Yes, because you know, in those days, I mean, we still are a moving factor in culture. Where modern culture is concerned, we are still a moving factor. We have great runners, great musicians. Our young men who are coming into music are making a name for themselves, owning a part for themselves, connecting with their generation on their terms, and still connecting the people on the wider outskirts on their terms. Yeah. So we're still making an impact.
Right.
I think, you know, even with hip hop being created back in the days, you know, we got to give it up so much for Jamaican culture because even our first DJs were Jamaican and they were ones bringing out the systems in the park. And that's all that Caribbean influence. Maybe hip hop wouldn't have been without what it is now without that.
The catalysts, the pioneers.
Exactly.
Came along before us. We have to pay homage to them. The thing that the issue what we're having now is those who are in the game now pay no respect to those who came and saw, nor those who paved the way before them. So that's a major issue to contend with. You know, now our music is primarily based on beef. Yeah. And beef apparently sell where love is now redundant and things that really matter are not being said. But you know, when you come out of that area of thought, you still have to face the realities that exist in the world.
But we're gonna change that right now, because this is love, and all we do is exude love. We don't want to
teach them a lesson.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it, King.
I mean, I think when you get older, you start to realize, and you know, when you're young, you know that term, young and dumb. You know, you're not thinking, you're just going, and we have to teach. We have to teach, and
I never want to grow old.
Yeah, nobody does.
Nobody does.
So we use the word generation because we suffer from a generational situation where I don't know if we didn't teach the generation behind us enough, or we didn't spend enough time imparting what we know on them, or it's a situation where we can't, or a situation where they don't want us to. But there's clearly a disconnect where and we cannot say that we're older because it's a number, you know. If you can still, if you can relate to a young man, that's what he wants. If you can relate to their situation, their pain, relate to what they're going through. Right. You can't. We always have a philosophy in Jamaica. We keep people around us who are younger than us.
Right.
Old people around here get old. Yes. No disrespect, but we don't kill champions. We raise them.
Yeah.
I think, and for DJs, at least I speak for myself. I think music keeps me young and happy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Same here.
100%.
Same here.
100%.
100%. Absolutely. You like good music though.
Yeah. Because,
oh man.
Yo, Buju, let me ask you this. So, what are some of the artists that inspired you, man? What
a lot of artists inspired
you?
Me. I'm inspired by people who can use their vocal like an instrument.
Okay.
I'm inspired by people who are able to enunciate in such a way that the words send a chill down your spine. I'm inspired by people who are able to play with such a riff that you can actually visualize the person's finger moving on the keyboard or up and down the fret of the bass or the guitar.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And there are many great people, from the James Brown to the Michael Jacksons to Bob Marley's to the Peter Tosh. We came to a part that where I did not invent this on my own, brothers. I learned from the ones who came before me. I might borrow a little bit of this one's vocal alignment, borrow 2 steps from this one because of the way he rocks when the music hits him, and we learn from each other. Yeah.
Right.
But for me to say, you know what I mean? It's a whole body, a whole cultural melting pot comes together to make the whole essence of Buju Banton who he truly is. Plus, traveling, meeting other people, the dynamics of that also have an impact. You follow me?
Right.
Boy, I say my sunroof.
Open, baby.
No,
it's all good.
It's a drop top, you know. It's a drop top.
I like that.
Sunroof, yo.
That's beautiful. Oh man, for me, listen, I always got to bring up the DJs because you know this is a DJ podcast. But like for me, traveling is like you know the times that I've gotten to DJ in Japan, I went to Russia, you know, and to see the music that we grew up on and playing it out there and the reaction even bigger than back home. To me, that's everything.
Yeah,
that's everything.
One
man.
thing I'm gonna say, congratulations. Traveling for a DJ has become much more light, and we need to just travel with a thumb drive.
Yes,
100%. 100%.
Once a DJ, I could be travel with cases of records, right?
Oh,
tassel with the airport, tassel with the airline, get to where you're going. One record box didn't show up. No, but DJ just travel with his thumb drive, right?
Now they just go with the thumb drive, and that's
and your
it.
Serato, huh?
You know you're good. You know the DJ struggles, man. You know.
Yeah.
Good.
Nah,
So now you only need 3 items, and all 3 items can hold in your shoulder bag, and you're off to the next gig.
That's
Your
it.
life will become
That's
immensely easier.
You would have the emergency stash here just in case the other records didn't make it. Like,
yeah. Let's analyze it. That's the pros and cons of where we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
The record, which was to us the pros, yes, because there are so many things that come with on a physical record, but it become cumbersome to move around with 3,000 records, 400 records, 500 records, 600 records to go play at 7 different events, and you risk damaging your product. So the advent of everything becoming macro is good, right?
Yeah. Right. 100%.
But it also have a caveat because we lose a major essence. The great when you put that needle on the turntable and you hear that,
yeah,
it gives you such a feeling that a lot of people have never experienced.
No, I miss that too. I really do miss that. You know, technology is a beautiful thing, and of course,
you spray water on your record to avoid the bumps.
Of course,
all the time.
Publics and all that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And if you play, and if you play your records outside, they're gonna warp. You're gonna be like, oh no, you can't play them in the sun. You can't play them in the sun.
Oh yeah, man.
But the beauty of getting a new record was always to hold it up and rub it on your leg, right? To make sure you open it properly, right? You
open it
up. Like, no, so rub the front and take your stuff and then turn it sideways and put it back in.
Right. I've scratched a record by accident and then grabbed the needle and try to fix the groove, you know, pressing down on the needle. And, you know, I've actually done that. Like I fixed the groove on the needle and fixed the record and okay, I could use it now. And I have to buy another one, which is crazy.
Yeah.
The things that we used to do, because remember now, guys, your job is to keep the party lively. Your job is to communicate effectively. Your job is to transmit an emotion too. Because if you're in a bad mood, nigga, you're going to go out there and play in a bad mood.
Right.
So if in a great mood, everyone is going to be happy.
You know, I also got to big up. I got to big up all the Caribbean selectors. Like I watch like the Jamaican DJs sometimes, and their energy's next level, bro. Like it's next level, man. The entertainment, the mic game,
Yeah.
the bringing down the music, talking to the crowd, and then blah, throwing something on and then bringing it back. Like I've learned a lot just sitting back. Like I used to watch Bobby Collins and Jabba, man. They used to be the best ones at Summer Jam. I used to just watch them rock. And to me, I've learned a lot from like Caribbean DJs because it's like they take it next level. You feel me?
The DJs are very important. Like I said, let me reaffirm that point. The DJs are very important, and what needs to happen is a global organization like a DJ conference like that used to happen at Jack the Rapper, where all you guys come together because you guys are really the market movers, and also gatekeepers if you want to be. Yeah, but you have the opportunity to shape culture, shape consciousness.
100%.
Things and move a whole generation musically. Because if it's hot, it's got to drop.
Right.
It drop it while it's hot, right?
Right. That's it.
Okay. Heavy hitters. This ball drop and kickers.
Yes, sir.
Remember, look on for Heavy Hitters on the brand new album. It's a dedication to the Heavy Hitters gang,
Woo! Let's
There you
go.
There you go. July 17th, baby.
We like to thank you, Buju, for taking time and hanging out with us, man. I know you're super busy, and everybody make sure you support Buju's album and all his endeavors.
Yes, it's called Too Too Bad. The brand new album, Too Too Bad, comes your way July 17th.
July 17th.
Let's go.
July 17th comes your way. Too bad. Remember, look out, because we're on the road. DJ Enuff, Camilo, Shotman Movements, Kast, love for them. Power to the people.
Respect.
We are the power.
Thank you, King.
Go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the Heavy Hitter DJs podcast, rate the show, and share it with someone who cares about the roots of what moves us. I'm the crowd mover, El Boogs.
I'm the big Spanish guy, DJ Enuff.
I'm DJ Camilo.
And I'm DJ Kast One.
Heavy hitter, suckers.